How to get started in online dating. I know a lot of you sometimes can think like this. Oh, I will do it later. No, not now. I don't know. I'm not sure. And you just sitting there and get bored sometimes, and like you see other people's lives, especially now with the social media. We're a lot in it, and we look at our Facebook and people sharing their photos, and the more we watch it, and we see people who have, they have, their partner in lives, and they have a very successful relationship, and some people who are meeting other people from other countries, and it went so fine, and they have kids, and when you watch it, you can also feel sometimes like, oh, she's so lucky, or oh, he's so lucky, how did he do that? I mean, how and everybody's telling, where do you meet your partner? Oh, I meet him in online dating and all this stuff. And then you feel sometimes like, yeah, maybe I will also try it. But then you want to try it, you want to do it, but still you don't do it. So please, number one, register now. And so then you don't know, where will I go? How will I start? Well, anyway, that is the good thing with Mr. Google. He is my best friend, Mr. Google, because you can just Google everything. Just Google free dating sites. Or if you are, the best way is to start with free dating sites. I meet my husband on free dating sites, and I have a lot of friends, and they meet their husbands in free dating sites. And I have already some videos where I share some free dating sites, and sites where you can pay, and sites that I can recommend, because I know people who had been in that site and they met their partners in life. That is how I learn about these things, because every time I have a lot of friends from different countries, and then when they met their partners, and then I usually talk with them, how did you meet, and all this stuff. Oh, we meet in a dating site. I have a group of friends where they met their partners in dating sites, and that is why I know it. And me myself, I had helped some friends to meet their partner in the dating sites, and it works. It's very possible. So you register now. I will be continue to watch this video, and you will learn a lot. You will learn a lot of tips. So don't hang on, don't stop watching me, because I will be sharing a lot today. So register now, and I had a video, how will you do it, how will you filter and all this stuff. And then if sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm tired today, but at least you start from the beginning, like you just register. You don't immediately have to write to people. Just register, and then try to search. Try to search. If anybody who is watching this video doesn't really know how to do it, how to start it, how to, to register and all this stuff, I know a lot of you knows already, but if you don't know, just leave a comment and just ask me, and then I can even make a video how to do it. So number 2 is to filter the person you're looking for. Why do you have to filter? Yes, you have to filter in a way that we have all our preferences. Maybe you're someone who wants to meet only Asian people. If you are European and you want to meet Asian partner. If you are an Asian and you want to meet a European partner or an American partner, then that is how you will do it. But of course, it's very good that you do it. You can have, if you're from Asia, you can have an Asian dating site. If you're from the USA, you can have an international dating site. So because it depends, that is why you have to filter, because you have to put it there. You have to specify that you prefer your preferences. You prefer someone that is from the USA. But it's so funny sometimes, because you don't really have to do it. Sometimes it's just happened with me. My experience before, I really like, oh, I prefer someone from, the Italy, because before I like I like this, romantic thing about Italy and all this stuff. But then there was somebody who wrote me, and he's from Sweden. And at the time I was like, oh, Sweden, okay. And I didn't know a lot about Sweden. So all you do is just, you have to Google, and you have to look. You have to ask our best friend, Mr. Google, again. And then the age. Some people, maybe they want like it's the same age like they have, or maybe they want that they will want to meet someone that is older than them. But I will tell you, when love knocks on your door, you forget the age, and the age doesn't really matter. Maybe if it's we're talking about the huge age gap, then it can matter sometimes, because it will really, you can really encounter a lot of differences. And I have a video that is all about the struggles of huge age gap, and I have friends who are in that situation, and that is why I learn things about it. And another one that is very important for you to filter is the location. Sometimes you are the kind of person where if you meet somebody online, you want to meet that person immediately. Then maybe you don't want to communicate, you are not interested to meet a person that is from the Asian country if you live in Europe. Or if you live in Asian country, you don't want to find a person that lives in the European country or in the US or in other Middle Eastern or whatever countries that is not near your country. But for me, as what I said, it doesn't matter. But one thing to consider is, like, if you're from an Asian country and you feel like, yeah, maybe I think I like guys from this country, from a certain country that you like and prefer. I have something very important for you to know, is that be sure, for security reason, that in that country you know someone. And I know everybody are on Facebook and Instagram, and you have friends everywhere around the world. Be sure to, before you learn about the person, that you know somebody in that country. Because if you know somebody in that country and you will be visiting there, or maybe in the future you will be living there, at least you have someone to communicate if there's something happen, or if you need help. If it's somewhere in the Europe, it doesn't have to be like the person maybe live in Sweden or in Finland, or but at least there are neighboring countries in it. So it's the time you have to learn more about geography, and it's very easy because you just search and the neighboring countries of that country. And that is a very good thing to do if you have the intention of meeting someone, of dating someone, or you have the intention that in the future I want to live in this country. Oh, I find this country very interesting, and I have friends there, and you have relatives there, so why not do it. Another thing is that the interest. Of course, all of us, it works a lot more, and it is easier if you will find a partner where you have interest in common. But of course, it doesn't have to be, because I talk about it before, about how to compromise in relationship, and it can actually work. You can have this different interests, but at the same time, the relationship will work. I mean, me and my husband, we have totally different interests, but it works. Why? Because I compromise and he compromise. Because what is actually important when you are together in a relationship is like you do something together. If there is something that his interest is very different than your interest, you still can do these things. Why not? Give it a chance. I'm not interested in electronics, but I go with him, and you learn something. Even if you're not really like 100% enjoying it, but still you learn things about it. If I go to a garden fair, if I go to a kitchen fair and all this stuff, and my husband is with me, and the thing that is important with that is you are together. But of course, maybe your husband doesn't really love it. But why he is with you? Because you want to be together. If you are in a fair, you're not only watching things, you can also eat together. You can sit and listen to lectures and all these things. So when we are together in something that is not his interest, then he is there. And then I share to him. And then, like, for example, if it's all about plants, it's all about all these kind of things. And of course, I know it's not his interest, but of course he is still there to support me, to learn my interest, because that is how it works in a relationship. You have to know each other's interest. You maybe don't like it, but you just show interest on it, and maybe give it a chance that you will learn, you will know, you will learn something from each other's interest. So interest is not really like, oh, this guy is, he likes it. But of course, if it's kind of interest like mountain climbing, well, you can just say to the person, I'm sorry, but I cannot really do mountain climbing. I mean, maybe I can, but I'm just so afraid. But is it okay for you? If like you have this interest and if you are doing it, I'm not with you, then it works. It's a lot of mountain climbers and their partners are not going mountain climbing with them. It still can work. But of course, if the guy really wants a partner, or if the woman really wants a partner, that the partner will really do all the interest she or he likes, then in that case, you have to back off. You don't have to go into that kind of relationship, because it's a kind of relationship where compromised word is, it's something that will never work. Another very important thing is like, if the person have kids or the person has no kids. It's very important, because sometimes it's more like, oh, you just search and you search for the age, and you search for the age and the location and the interest of the person, and then you forgot if the person likes to have kids, or the person has already have kids, or if this person has already have kids, that's one of you wants to have more kids. Because like if you have a very huge age gap, for example, and the guy has already 3 kids and you don't have a kid, so most of the time the other one still wants to have kids, and you don't know that the guy maybe is like he doesn't want to have kids anymore, or not, or even the woman. So it's one thing, that is a kind of thing that you cannot compromise, because it's a need of a person. If you are a single person, you don't have kids, you meet someone and he has kids and he doesn't want to have kids anymore, then you can just be polite and say to the person, oh, I'm really sorry, I really like you, but I don't think it will work between the two of us, because I really want to have kids and you don't want to have kids anymore, and I understand it. So just be honest and tell the person, because there are already people who just think that, it doesn't matter, we go for this, because if it will work, if the person will fall in love with me, and maybe he can consider it. It's not a very good compromise. So having kids, not having kids, it's something that you cannot compromise, because that is something very serious, and there are maybe some people who have already done something physically on them that they cannot have any kids anymore, so that will be a miserable relationship. And then of course, if you're a person that you just want to meet someone who has no kids, it's very important that you have to put there that I have already 3 kids, and so I'm not considering having more kids in the future. Or like if the person is single, doesn't have kids, but at the same time he still doesn't want to have kids, and maybe he has a very serious reason about it, then never mind going into or starting a relationship in that, because there's a lot of people who have the same likes and wants as you want. So it's another thing. Another one is non-smoker and smoker. Drinking alcohol or not drinking alcohol. Some people may not consider it, but please take it as a very big consideration, because a lot of relationship never works if the other party doesn't like it. There are some people who are maybe allergic to smoke. They don't like the smell and all this stuff, so it's just useless, because when you go online dating, it's just you give effort in it, you give your time, you give your energy. So it's not worth to give energy and time of learning a person, of communicating to a person, and then there are traits in a person that you cannot really accept, like a smoker, and you really cannot take it because you have an allergy, or you cannot really take it how it smells for smokers and all this stuff, or it's non-smoker. But of course, to be fair, you have also to disclose on your profile that you are a non-smoker or if you are a smoker. Or like if you drink alcohol, you have to put there if you drink alcohol occasionally, or if you drink weekly, or every weekend you drink alcohol, and all this stuff. It's very good to disclose it, because it's not, if everything is already disclosed on your profile, then you don't have to ask everything. Do you smoke, or do you have kids? You know, the person knows already. Because people who are very serious, they really look at your profile, all of it, your interest, if you are a smoker or non-smoker, if you have kids or whatever. So it's very important that you yourself, you do it too. Put all the information that is needed. And then another thing is like religion. I will tell you, in Asian countries maybe, or like for example the Philippines where I came from, religion is very important. A lot of people are practicing religion. And even in other countries, a lot of countries that has a very strong hold when it comes to religion. But it's also a lot of countries in Europe, or in the Middle East, or in the USA. It's a lot of people who are not practicing religion at all. And there are even people who doesn't have any beliefs related to religion. But there is one thing I can say, as what I said on my other videos before: don't consider religion. The best thing you have to consider to find a partner you want to live with is a person with a good heart. Because if you are practicing a religion, you are a very strong believer, and then you will find a partner who has a very good personality, who has a very good heart. You don't have actually to force that person. I'm Catholic. Oh, you're not Catholic. No, I'm not marrying you. But of course, I have respect to people. I have respect in different religion. I'm Catholic myself. Of course, I'm not practicing it as like other people does. But I'm a kind of person where I'm not practicing, maybe like going to church and reading Bibles. I'm not doing it. But I always have my beliefs that goodliness is godliness. If you are a good person, not only to your relatives, to your nearest family, but you are good to everybody in as a whole, then God is in you. And I think it's a very good thing to consider. So if you think about converting somebody to be or to have the religion you have, it can be very complicated, and it can be very hard, because in Europe or in the USA, for example, there are a lot of people who doesn't practice any religion. They're not practicing it, but they are very good people. I have met a lot of people with a very good heart, and they don't have any religion. They're not practicing any religion, but they have a very good heart. And living in this world, what is most important is you are a good person. And it doesn't matter what kind of religion you are. It doesn't mean that you're not Catholic. Oh, you will not be saved. No. All of us has our own personality. We have our own beliefs. What is important is that respect. We have respect to everyone. So if you're a religious person, it means you have to respect people who has no religion. If you have no religion at all, it means you have to respect people that has a religion. So please, how to get started on online dating? Just do all this advice I have and watch other videos that I did, and then you will learn a lot. And don't forget to give your comments, you give your suggestion, and if there's something you wonder, you just ask me and I can make videos about it. So as what I said, I will be sharing things. I will be sharing sites that can be of big help to you, how you get started. Thank you. This is Evelyn Sigelstrand of Liba Buhay.